Judy Greer from Michigan. I love that. So you're from Livonia.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Livonia?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was awesome, definitely. I was born in Detroit, Michigan. I was born, I believe, at Mount Carmel Hospital. I don't even know if it's there anymore. Probably not, because I'm 100. Just kidding, I'm not. I was born there and then moved to Redford. My parents moved to Redford and then finally moved to Livonia, where I went to school. And then when I left for college, my parents, actually no, it was my senior year of high school, they moved to Northville.
Oh, okay.
And they got a really cute little house in Northville. And in Livonia, I don't know. I don't know what it was like to grow up there because that's all I know. So I can't really compare it to anything. But it was really it felt good. I always felt really kind of safe. And in my neighborhood, it was the Kimberly Oaks subdivision. There was two models of houses. There was the short house and the double-story house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it just felt really nice and calm, and everything was kind of the same. And I remember walking all over everywhere in the summertime. My parents were working, and my friends and I would walk or ride bikes to the Dairy Queen, the Handy Dip, and to Bates Burgers. And there was a little weird restaurant called Sneaky Pete's that I would go to with my mom. I would say growing up in Livonia was kind of awesome. I mean, I want to say Norman Rockwell-y, but it was mellow. I never felt like we were, I don't know, it just felt like a nice, sort of middle class, nice place to grow up. There's a real sense of, I don't know, I guess community with us Michiganders. There's something sort of, and I don't know if it's Michigan, I'd like to think it is, if it's a Midwestern sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly when I'm out here in Hollywood and I'm talking to people and I'm on set, I'm at work and whatever, people are always like, oh, you're so Midwestern, or I can hear that in your voice, and you're so nice, you're a nice Midwestern person. But I do think there's something about being from Michigan that makes you maybe a little bit more grounded. I don't know if it's the weather or or what, but I do feel like I've learned that from my background there.
What do you think the lessons that you learned growing up and in the school or just with the people that you had around you that helped influence your career and your life today?
Well, the Detroit itself and the surrounding suburbs are, for the most part, a pretty working class. It's a really working class area, and it's, very blue collar, and I think that there is a real sort of work ethic that is infused in us that I take with me everywhere I go, and that is one thing that I really feel like I have. I'm a worker. I really want to work. I'm not necessarily, I don't consider myself necessarily an artist as much as I'm an actor. That's my job, that's my skill, my trade, and so I want to work every single day. So probably to my detriment because I work so much, I get so tired, but I think that's something that we take away from where we're from. It's just that work ethic that I don't feel comfortable sitting and watching TV all day. I don't know, I had that. We work,
I do know. I feel the same exact way.
I had a job as soon as when I was a kid, I was working all through the summer. I never
Where did you work in the summers?
Well, I started working, I worked first for my mother. My mom ran a hospital that is also since closed called Northwest General in Detroit, and there was a health clinic in there, and so she paid me to file. So I would go to work with her in the summer and I would file in the clinic. And then I got my first real job at Olga's Kitchen at the Laurel Park Place Mall in Livonia.
Nice.
And I worked there for, I guess, 2 years until I left and went to Chicago. And even in Chicago, I went to college at DePaul, but all through college, I always had a job.
Yeah.
It's never occurred to me to not have a job.
What are the places or things that you wish people who don't know the state, what would you tell them about if someone was going to go visit? What would you say, oh, you have to go see this or do this?
Well, I mean, it would depend on how much time they had.
Sure.
But I have so many favorites in Detroit and in Michigan in general. I love our art museum. The Detroit Institute of Arts has always been one of my happy places, and I go there in my mind all the time because I went there so often when I was little, and I love that museum. I think it's beautiful and magical, and it's a quiet place to think, and we have such a great art collection, and I'm really proud of it. My friend owns a bar there called the Grand Trunk Pub, which my friend Tim Tharp is one of the owners, and I'm a huge fan of that place, and so I love that. I think, where else? I'm trying to think of where I would go as a kid. I mean, God, it's not there anymore, but the old Tiger Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, how many Red Wings games did I see at Joe Louis Arena? Like, it just, I think about that all the time, like walking and everyone mooing. My dad and I going to the Eastern Market like on Saturday mornings, and I was always begging him to buy me a bunny rabbit, and he never would. I'm desperate to take my stepkids on a vacation up north, you know? It's just funny being in Los Angeles and Southern California in general, like people don't understand lake culture.
I know.
Lakes are awesome because there's nothing in it that can kill you, first of all, except like potentially the lake itself, but not usually. In Michigan, our lakes are very clean, but it's not like you're gonna get bit by a shark or anything. The clean water, the cold water, the raft that's anchored to the earth.
I know.
And like the dock and like laying out on the dock at night. I saw the Northern Lights one summer in Elk Rapids laying on that dock. And it was just like, it's all so dreamy. And lightning bugs and all that stuff, like people here don't really, anyway.
Judy, you should make a movie there because you're kind of taking me back to it right now.
I really want to. We took the kids this summer on a quickie trip up to Whistler, and there was a lake up there, and I took them swimming on the lake, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I miss lakes so badly.
Aww.
They're so, I don't know, that's a whole different, the
and then
pontoon boat.
People don't understand that a lake in Michigan isn't something small. It's like an ocean, only different. Yeah,
they're
big.
great, hence
Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And then the pontoon boat, I mean, you don't have that necessarily on oceans.
You don't see many pontoon boats.
I mean, you can put a grill on that.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
It's so awesome.
Who would you say, if you can think of someone, who was the most influential to you? Was there somebody who made a difference or kind of said, I believe in you, Judy, go for it?
I mean, I feel like I have a group of them, really. Like I was talking about Karen Milligan from Milligan School of Ballet, who really always believed in me, even though I was not a great dancer and I was not the best person in her dance company. But I also was so blessed with the faculty at Churchill High School. I was kind of a loner. I mean, I was like in that arts area, but I wasn't like Miss Popularity or anything, but I always felt like really at home there. And Hal Downs was and Gail Mack were my acting teachers in Kappa, and then Miss Pat Hutchison was on the actual like high school side of things, and she was keeping an eye out for me and took really good care of me, and she was really encouraging. I write in my book that she gave me really great advice. She said, when in doubt, sing loud, which which I think about like every day of my life that she said that. And I think, yeah, like if you're gonna fail, like fail big. Like if you can't sing loud. That's what I did. And so that group of people was really, I had like another teacher, his name was Art Bakewell. He put me in a play there my freshman year. It was like a tiny little black box play, and I was just trying to make friends, you know. I wasn't super smart, and I didn't play sports or do cheerleading or anything like that. So, and I was a terrible drawer or artist. So that was like a good spot for me. But that was a really good program, both the Churchill High School side and the creative and performing arts side of it. I think that they, at the time I was there anyway, they had like a really nice sort of, I don't know, they kind of went hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I don't think I was like by any means the best actor, dancer, whatever, singer, clearly not, in either program, but everyone kind of seemed to get a really good shot. Yeah. And I never felt like, and again, I was only there 4 years, I never felt like they were giving the same people the same roles over and over. I do really think that they tried to like kind of spread the wealth a little bit, which I appreciated, even though I wish I could have had more roles. But I do think, looking back on it, it was great that everyone kind of got a chance. I think you should just say yes to Michigan.